The second piece of advice that I bet you figured out quickly is connecting with people is the key to success in college. As soon as possible and as often as possible, connecting with people. Here's the challenge, is that since you've got here, you've been pleasantly surprised at how many new connections you've made. Oh my gosh, some of you are awful. You are cold, evil people who sit alone and never meet anyone. Our tendency, when we come to college, in our quest for comfort, is to seek out the people who are like us, who come from the same backgrounds, who have the same small town, big town, same ethnicity, same religious preference, all kinds of things. We tend to find our own because it helps us feel comfortable. Remember that part of the program, part of your educational mission here, is to leave here a different person than when you got here. And even though of all the schools I talk to, I am impressed with the cost of attending school here and the cost of getting a degree. Yeah, it could be cheaper, I know. But let me tell you, a lot of places I go, the tuition, the room and board, it's insane. And even though this I would call a relative bargain, it's still expensive. And if you were to leave here at the end of your program thinking the same way that you do now, acting the same way you do now, it will have been a waste of your money. Yes, you might have the little piece of paper that you need to go get the job. That's not enough. We need more from you. One of the reasons the citizens of Wisconsin pitch in is because there is this expectation, if you go here, that you are going to contribute, that you are going to help, that you are going to come out of here better, stronger, more creative. And that means connecting with people who are different than you. I'm going to ask you really quickly, since it doesn't sound like you've done this, some of you, I'm going to give you 90 seconds right now to stand and meet 3 people you haven't yet met. And then when you sit back down, I'm hoping you'll remember their names. Go!
I love the chatter.
Okay, grab a seat. Even? Awesome, thank you. Oh, that's what I love about groups like this. So often, they're like not going to do it on their own, but with the littlest little nudge, you're like, I'm in, right? Let's go. And I dare you to add more of that to your college experience. Something that's cool about going to a technical college that I see in this room, that I find from my previous visits here, is there a lot more diversity of age. That there is a lot more of traditional, just out of high school or just a couple years out of high school, and then there's folks who have been out of school for a while and are coming back to create a new chapter in their life. And what I will notice when I go to eating areas, study areas, common areas on campuses, a lot of time they've got their little clump, and there is not more than like a 5-year age difference in the clump. And I will tell you, to the young whippersnappers in this room, that the folks who have been around a little bit have something to offer you. And don't be afraid of stepping out of your comfort zone and making those connections. Because there is, even though our society doesn't always value it just right, there's some wisdom and experience and some this is how to make it in this crazy world that you can benefit from. And to my peers, the folks my age and maybe a little older too, these little young whippersnappers need to put a belt on and put their pants up sometimes. And I don't know about some of this crazy music they listen to, but while you're busy being really nervous about heading back to school and am I going to be able to handle it, and oh my gosh, this is a lot with my crazy full life, those little young whippersnappers have got some energy and enthusiasm and curiosity and passion that if you can, I know they're sitting over there by themselves and it can be intimidating, but head over there and say hi to them. Because a lot of times what I find in all the speaking I do on campus, or well, on campuses too, but in association conferences, I'll go hang out with a group of architects. This couple months ago, I was hanging out in Madison with a group of pharmacists from around the state, and all kinds of groups. Whatever the group is, when I come up to people who are first-year attendees at the conference, I say, hey, how's it going so far? And inevitably, it's some version of, it's good, I'm finding this group is a little cliquey. And I will tell you, it's not because pharmacists are cliquey, or nurses are cliquey, or teachers are cliquey. It's because when you come into a room with 200 people, you see comfort. You see the person that you haven't seen since last year's conference, and you run over, and if you're like me, you're loud about it. My people are loud. Did I just? Yeah, I did. Okay, anyway. Shut up, you knew already. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. You're clapping for it. That didn't happen in high school. But it turns out when you're the new person in the room and you sit back and you hold back a little bit, it's not always that the veterans are going to run over and welcome you because they're busy saying hi to each other. But if you can have the bravery to head over and just say, hey, you will often find they're open and welcoming. So lots of times you walk into a cafeteria, common area, library, wherever, class, and there's 3 or 4 people sitting by themselves, and you want to not go up there because they're kind of cliquey. I dare you to go over and say hi and see, it's like, is it okay if I sit with you, and see how quickly they open up. And 1 time out of 10, they're going to be like, okay. And you can like curse inside your head and be like, sorry, never mind.